Hi darlings, how are you? I hope that you are doing amazing. It's DarlingDTarot bringing you another pick a card reading. So for today we are going to be getting right into this and asking the question, what kind of friends are you attracting and how will you meet? So we have three beautiful piles here. We have stack 1, stack 2, and stack 3. So you can choose based off of the energy of the pile, the number of the pile, or also the crystal animal that is in front of each pile. So we have this crystal dog for stack 1. Isn't he cute? And then we have a crystal whale for stack 2. And a crystal elephant for stack 3. So I will give you a second to choose, but first let's take a deep breath in. Let's hold it. And release. And with that, I will give you a few seconds to choose, and then I will see you at your pick. Bye! Hello to everyone who picked stack 1. Let's get right into your reading and see what sort of friends are you attracting and how will you meet. So starting off with your first card, this is going to be your angel therapy card, and this is going over some advice on how to meet this person. So starting off, we have heart chakra. It says the answer that you seek is in your heart right now. Be open to giving and receiving love. So right off the bat, with this card, I really want to say, are you open to receiving love? Are you open to bringing in another person into your life right now? Make sure that you are opening your heart chakra up. Make sure that you are open to the idea of bringing more people into your life as well and expanding, because sometimes we can feel like we are, sometimes we can feel like we're ready, but we can still be holding on to things from the past. We can still be holding on to past heartaches, heartbreaks, any kind of friendships that maybe didn't work in the past as well. We can hold on to that and we can keep that in our heart chakra. So we have to make sure that we're clearing ourselves and that we're preparing ourselves for this person that's going to be coming in, because I feel like this is someone who is going to extend a lot of love your way, someone who is very compassionate, someone who is very open, very caring as well, very generous, just like you. And I think that everyone that chose stack 1 is very generous, and I think that you're trying to find a friend that is going to match that level of generosity. You don't want someone who is going to leave you out in the cold, or someone who is basically going to crumple up like your heart and throw it in your face, right? We don't want that, and that's why we have this beautiful heart chakra card. Make sure that you're only manifesting things that will bring you in unconditional love that will be very conductive as well to your overall well-being. This is a love that can transcend lifetimes, and one that will enlighten you as well. I don't know if you can see in this card, but around his head we have this beautiful rainbow that is surrounding him, right? And this is very much saying that he is someone who is open. He is someone who is not only open-minded but open-hearted as well. He allows everyone into his life regardless of expectations. He doesn't have any. He doesn't set expectations, and he doesn't set he just doesn't set like regulations on this is how I want this friendship to be, this, and this. He gives just because he can, because he has the means to be able to. This is someone who is very compassionate, someone who wants everyone to be happy with them. So make sure that you are coming at this person with a very warm vibe, very open as well, because this is someone who, they've experienced a lot of heartbreak. They've experienced, I feel like, a lot of drama, and maybe people even turning behind their back and causing them a lot of like tragedies and stuff, and they're just kind of like, I don't want that anymore. I want a really fun, loving relationship. I want something that's going to be conducive to both of us, right? And that's why it says be open to giving and receiving love, because sometimes we can kind of block ourselves off, especially when we receive disappointments through other people or through kind of tough situations. So make sure that you aren't doing that. Make sure that you're very open. His body language is very open. He has both of his arms at the side of of him. You know, he's not closed up. He's not making sure that he's hiding from other people as well. So make sure that you are aware of how you're presenting yourself to other people as well. Am I someone who is shutting myself off to other people? Am I closing myself in as opposed to being very open and warm and inviting? You know, so these are the kind of things that we can be asking ourselves as well. Is my heart chakra open enough to where I can really be sending out love and allowing people to come forward to me and say whatever it is that they want, you know? Because sometimes when people can kind of see you maybe passing you on the subway, or maybe you're eating at Subway, or really anything to do with Subways, you know, maybe they're just kind of like, oh, I'd really love to talk to them, but maybe they feel a little bit intimidated. Maybe they feel like you wouldn't necessarily want to talk to them. So make sure over the next few months that you're really working on opening up your heart chakra, working on really just kind of bettering yourself overall as well with your energy and with how you present yourself to other people, because I feel like it can also be coping mechanisms that we might have grasped onto at a young age, or just at a time that it really felt comfortable for us. But make sure that you aren't just kind of living in that fear-based energy, and you're allowing yourself to live in the frequency of love overall. So going on to your next two cards, these are going to be your angel inspiration cards, and these are going over what sort of energies this new friend is going to bring into your life. So we have, number 33, love, and also 18, trust the flow. Okay, so these are really awesome cards, but starting off with number 33, love, you know, it is the number 6 if we were to add them both up. So this is abundance. This is spiritual enlightenment as well, right? But I very much feel like this person is going to bring a lot of love into your life, which is also why we have heart chakra here, right? Maybe some of you who picked this pile, this might be kind of a friendship that turns into a romantic friendship in there, like even a relationship. There we go. But whatever it is, it doesn't even have to be anything along those lines. You might even love each other as if you feel like you are in the same soul tribe, so to speak. You know, you are of the same family as well. But I feel like there's a lot of love, and you guys are going to very much be connected through your heart chakras. It's going to be almost like you guys are very, very much spiritually connected. There we go. I feel like I'm getting so tongue-tied, but the energy is so heavy. Oh my goodness, it's so overwhelming. There's going to be such a big respect here between the two of you. Do you see how all of this body language is very open? I mean, here she's holding her hand up, but even then she's not blocking off her heart. I feel like you guys are going to be very open with each other, and at times it's going to be a little bit mind-boggling that the two of you can understand each other at such a soul level, so to speak. And that's why I'm really getting tongue-tied on this spread, is really because I feel like it's something that neither of you have experienced before with friendships. It's going to feel like a very divine friendship as well, I suppose you can say. But it's something that with the number 9, with number 18, this is really saying that you guys are not only going to grow together, but you're also going to grow individually away from each other, right? Because you guys are going to uplift one another. Because of that love, you guys are going to make each other feel like, let's keep going, let's keep striving forward, let's achieve all of these goals together. You know, and even when you're not together, you guys then have that trust then to be able to go forward, you know, into the unknown, you know, and into sort of new adventures as well. I feel like you guys are going to always be exploring. For some of you, this pile is going to be, you guys might meet online as well, is really what I'm feeling, because we have this angel that is staring down at the earth, and it makes me feel like a long distance friendship. It's something that is going to be so beautiful, and maybe you feel like, oh my goodness, I wish that I were there to actually speak to you in words. I wish that I were actually there to hug you as well. But you have so much love for this person, you know, and so much trust in them as well, which is so beautiful. But they bring a lot of energy of their own self-worth and their own self-healing as well. So they're really leading by example for you too. They're saying, hey, you know, you are someone who is very beautiful. You're someone who should continue to love, and someone who should expect to aim for the stars, right? They really think that you are someone who is kind of an angelic presence, and they're bringing all of this stability kind of into this friendship as well. they're bringing this abundance, they're bringing this love in. And maybe those that pick this first stack, maybe you guys have struggled, like I said, with people who maybe haven't been the best friends. Maybe they have deceived you, maybe they've lied to you, maybe, I just feel like maybe some of them have given you kind of the runaround in the past before. So going forward, you're a little bit iffy, like, am I going to find the right friend for me? Am I going to find someone who really understands me and understands what I'm going through? And if you see her, the way that she's holding herself, and she's just looking forward, it's really like, I understand where you've been because I've been you. It's that sort of a vibe. It's almost like you guys can understand each other without even having to speak at times as well. Maybe you guys like video chat a lot too if you guys are an online friendship, but whatever it is, I feel like you guys could be friends no matter what. The zombie apocalypse could happen tomorrow and you guys could be like 10 years in the future, you meet up and you're friends again, right? It's that sort of a friendship. It's something that is so pure and so just full of love. Oh my goodness. So going on to your next card, this is going to be your animal messages card. And this is talking about what you notice about this person overall and like right off the bat. What is something that really impresses you about them? So not only are they very loving and they're very compassionate, but we also have gorilla. It says, take the time to listen compassionately to those you love, especially your family members. There's someone who's a good listener, right? There's someone who is always there for you when you've had a bad day. There's someone who is always going to pick you up and, always someone who is going to provide a new outlook on every situation as well, which I really love. Oh my goodness. This is someone who might always look on the bright side of life, and they're the type of person as well who is going to see the glass half full as opposed to half empty. They're very much optimists. And maybe that really balances you out as well because you have times where it's almost like a wave of emotion can kind of like drag you down and it feels so heavy. It feels so overwhelming. And this person is someone who they've been there. They understand that, and they love to comfort others. I feel like this is someone as well who would make a very good therapist, maybe even like a psychologist, just anyone who would really just kind of sit with you and listen to your feelings and listen to your emotions because this is someone who can really, they're empathetic, right? They can very much pick up on emotions and they can say all the right things, I suppose you can say. They're very, very caring. Oh my goodness. And you can tell that their friends and their family members very much rely on them. They are the rock in their inner circle. It's almost like everything revolves around them. Like, I don't want to say it in like a narcissistic sense because that's not the energy that they have at all. It's just sort of like everyone would be kind of a mess without this person, I suppose you can say, because they're the strong ones. They're the ones that are constantly fighting. They're striving. They're moving forward. They're determined. They're dedicated. Oh my goodness, right? This is kind of like the glue that holds everyone together, so to speak, is this gorilla energy because they plant such stable roots. And with this blue energy behind the gorilla, it's also saying that this is someone who is very healing. They have a healing touch to them as well. This might be someone who is, maybe they practice Reiki. Maybe there's someone who maybe they just heal people and they don't necessarily even know it, right? But you absolutely love the fact that you can call them up at any time of the night or day and they will always answer for you. And if they don't, they'll always at least text you back or email you, right? This is someone who is extremely, extremely loyal. I was starting to say incredibly and then I was saying extremely and then I didn't know what I was saying. But yeah, but this is someone who is very, very compassionate and a really, really fun person, a really good time to be around as well. So going on to your next card, this is your Secrets of the Mystic Grove card, and this is talking about what sort of energy they will bring into this friendship. So we have number 43, Unity. So remember how I was talking about that they're kind of the glue that holds everyone together? That's this card. It says connectedness, harmony, and equilibrium. So definitely, there's someone who makes everyone feel very balanced. They make everyone feel almost like whole, I suppose you can say. because they help people with their shadow work. They help people to feel like they can achieve that next level and that their goals aren't so out of reach, I suppose you can say, which makes them so beautiful as a person. And you're really going to value them for that fact, for the reason that they are so uplifting, and they're the type of person who is going to give you a pep talk like no matter what, right? They're the type of person who probably watches those motivational speeches online to get themselves hyped up so that they can hype up other people and keep up that harmony and that kind of good news and that good energy. Because we have these two birds here together, which is kind of making me feel like this person will go to their friends and be like, hey, I heard some really good news today and I think you should hear about it. Because they want to create sort of like, I suppose you could say, a grapevine effect where there's so many people that are going to hear about this good energy that at least they managed to make a whole bunch of people happy. I think that that's kind of this person's goal in life, so to speak. And that's the energy that they're going to bring into this friendship, is they're going to have a very connected friendship with you. It's going to be one where the two of you definitely feel like you are in harmony with each other. You're in balance. You're in equilibrium. Oh my goodness, right? You're not going to be worried. That's why we have trust the flow here. It's almost like you guys are just kind of going to and just like lay back. It's almost like when you're in a pool and you just allow yourself to float on your back at the top of the water, that very calm, collected feeling. It's that energy, right? Everything is beautiful. And I know I keep saying that you're looking for a conductive energy for a friendship, but that's what this is going to be. That's why we have so many flowers that are opening, because this person is someone that can really thrive with you, right? This is someone who they just do really, really good in your presence. It's almost like they are the plants and you are the sun, or your water, you know, or it's just kind of like a good combination, I suppose you can say. But going on to the next card, this is going to be your animal totem card, and this is talking about what sort of energy they have overall. So we have the sun. Oh my goodness, this is lemur energy. This is someone who is very enlightened, someone who is very spiritual, someone who is very warm, empathetic, like we were talking about, compassionate, open-hearted. Oh my goodness. And the sun is someone who's very, very happy, someone who remembers what it's like to kind of be in that childish energy and remember what it's like to be a kid. They remember what it was that they wanted to pursue as a child as well. So they're always remaining true to themselves. They're very authentic. They're never going towards another person's ideals. They're only ever going towards what feels right for them. And you're really going to love that. You know, that's another trait that you're really going to enjoy about them, is that they are so warm. They are so loving as well. But that's why I really feel like maybe, you know, you're going to be the water, they're going to be the sun, and you guys can have all of these flowers together. You guys can have a healthy garden together, right? You guys can allow yourselves to metamorphosize together. It's really awesome. It's kind of like that friendship that you really want to reap the rewards with them, and you really want to kind of go the distance with them, I suppose. I know I keep bringing up the zombie apocalypse for this stack, but honestly, this is the friendship you want for the zombie apocalypse, right? This is that ride or die friendship that will always be there for you, even in really hard times, right? Because this is someone who is very trustworthy, someone who, like I said, the energy overall is just going to be like, you guys are connected. And that's that. There's unity, there's happiness, there's fulfillment. You know, and I feel like you guys do things so differently from other people as well, that's why coming together, it's going to be like, yes, I found my other counterpart for friends, right? Like my platonic counterpart, I suppose you can say. But going forward onto your next 4 cards, these are going to be your Witch's Tarot cards. And this is talking about what sort of energies you'll be feeling when you guys meet. So I actually want to say before I show you guys these cards is that after this, I'm going to be pulling you some Wheel of the Year tarot cards, and these are just kind of talking about how you might meet, like where, that sort of a vibe. But these are just kind of what sort of energies you might be in. So we have the 5 of Pentacles in reverse, followed by the Tower card in reverse as well, the 9 of Swords in reverse, and the 10 of Cups. Woohoo! Okay, so these are really, really awesome placements to have these cards in, if I do say so myself, right? But the 5 of Pentacles with the the Tower in reverse, this is really saying, and also with the Nine of Swords in reverse, you're coming out of anxieties. You're coming out of a time of feeling shut out in the cold by other people. You know, you're done with feeling like maybe you're the sidekick. Maybe this is even a friendship where they didn't ever invite you out to other things. Maybe they invited all your other friends out and you found out through like social media or something along those lines. But whatever it is, with the Tower, something came to an overall head. I suppose you could say, like, what would the word be? Everything just kind of went south. There we go. Honestly, with the Tower, it's about the crumbling of a foundation that wasn't strong to begin with. Why would you put a metal iron crown on the top of your building? Why? I don't know. Why not? But going forward, I don't know, maybe put like a plastic crown the next time that you build it. That way it won't be as conductive for electricity, you know, and for lightning. But I really feel like that's why we had this moment, so that you can realize what it is that you want out of a friendship, because we have the Ten of Cups here. This is talking about fulfillment, happiness, sentimental relationships as well. This isn't saying like, hey, we have all of the money in the world, but we have all of the love in the world. I can tell you that much. I want happiness. I don't want something that's going to aesthetically look good. Maybe you were with friends that you were just with them because they either furthered your career, or maybe you really liked them because they were stylish or they made you feel very good. But something came to an overall end. You know, it was almost like two forces colliding and something had to give. And it's like now you're coming out of this anxiety kind of an energy. You're coming out of these heavier energies so that you can sleep again, right? You're finally getting good sleep again. And I feel like by the time that you meet this person, you've already let go of all of this stuff, or that you're starting to. You're starting to heal, and you're not as upset about this kind of ending of this. I feel like it could be a relationship for some of you. It could be romantic or platonic, but regardless of what it is, there's going to be something that shakes up your life and causes you a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of restless nights, but you're going to then overall know what it is that you want going forward. You're going to know what it is that you want to pursue. Woohoo! That's awesome, because tens are also talking about the end of a cycle. We finally know what it is that we want, and we can start all over fresh again. Look, a 9 and then a 10. Wow. But that is absolutely awesome. You guys are completely on the right track, right? Especially with meeting this person. So if you've gone through this, you know, even just recently, and you've been feeling very low, know that this person is coming soon, that you're going to have this 10 of Cups. You deserve a 10 of Cups. You deserve a happy ending, so to speak. And that's what this person is really going to bring to your life, and vice versa. I feel like just your presence in their life and their presence in your life is going to be so fulfilling and so rewarding. Oh my goodness. So going on to your next 3 cards, these are going to be your Wheel of the Year tarot cards, like we had talked about, and this is talking about where you guys will meet. So this is going to be over kind of like different vibes that I might pick up over these cards of where you might meet. So we have the Lovers, the Tower again, oh my goodness, and then the 7 of Pentacles. Okay, so here's the vibe that I'm getting. There's a few different scenarios. Now this does go out to quite a few people, so there are going to be a few scenarios that I pick up on. But everyone is different. So for some of you with the Lovers, it might be that you meet at a get-together, maybe at a wedding, at a hand fasting, some sort of a union as well. It could be that you even meet out at a park, maybe a get-together. I'm almost feeling like a meetup, like bird watching for some of you. For some of you, it'll be like looking at the sky, maybe constellations, nature walks. But I also feel like that for some of you, maybe this friendship that you got out of, or this partnership, you're going to be keeping their friends. Like, I don't mean to like laugh at that, but it could be that maybe you didn't even expect to have someone still be on your side after this falling out, but they are, and that's why you're going to be kind of bringing them into your life. But regardless, the Tower is here again, so it's definitely saying like you're going to meet them directly after this big thing happening, right? But again, we have a lot of outside energies. We have a lot of energies of maybe you guys are going to meet at a baby shower, a wedding, maybe a birthday party for some of you as well. I just definitely feel like meet and greets. Also online vibes, of course. Let's see what else. For some of you, it's going to be hiking. So you might be doing hiking meetups, something along those lines, going into big groups. Some for even like spirituality. Maybe you're going to be going to different festivals, maybe even music festivals over the summer. I feel like summertime is going to be a really, really big deal, right? Because you see all of this like really wonderful, sunny, bright energy, and it's coming right after this rainstorm. So I really feel like, it's going to be during that time. I also, when I think of that sort of a time frame from like July going forward, I think of hurricane season. So it could even be that for some of you, maybe you meet this person while getting prepared for a hurricane or something along those lines, with the Tower card here representing a storm. But I definitely feel like it's going to be someone brand new that maybe you didn't even expect to have in your life. But with the Seven of Pentacles, it's going to be very, very rewarding, very fulfilling as well. Something that's going to bring a lot of happiness into your life. But it's also that energy of you reap what you sow, right? So make sure that you are putting your best foot forward in this kind of relationship. I suppose you can say this platonic partnership, right? But going forward onto your next two cards, these are going to be your Unicorn Tarot cards, and this is going over the friendship and dynamic overall. So we have the Justice card and the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so here's the deal. I feel like you guys are going to definitely have a friendship that's based off of reciprocity, very much 50-50, very balanced, very much equilibrium, like we had seen in your Secrets of the Mystic Grove Oracle card. And I feel like with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, it's not something that's going to take a long time, especially in the past. Maybe you've experienced friendships that have had kind of a slow start and a slow burn, but it's almost like you pick up where you left off. Maybe this is kind of like a past life relationship as well, to where you guys were friends in a past life, you were siblings in a past life, something along those lines, to where you guys just connect, you vibe, and you get one another, you understand one another, and that's why you can also help one another to go towards your passions, and the things that you really desire. Because I feel like with the Knight of Pentacles, maybe you guys are also going to be helping one another in career, but maybe you're going to have a little bit of a slow start when it comes to making time between your career and this friendship as well, if that makes sense. But overall, the dynamic is very, very fair. It's something that is very quick, but it's still very stable. It's still very steady as well. I also want to say that it's not as immature as the Knight of Pentacles. Like, yeah, sure, the Knight is definitely a lot more mature than the Page, of course. But with it being in reverse, I feel like this is something that, even though it is still very new, it's still very fresh, it is going to be something that is set in stone. It is going to be something that is very stable, and something that it's almost like whiplash. It almost reminds me of like the Chariot card, right? That it's going to happen very, very fast, but in a very balanced way. I suppose the best way to say it is that you guys aren't going to be going towards one another in an uncomfortable way. It's definitely going to be at a very good set pace for one another. But for the most part, I definitely feel like when you guys meet, it's going to be an instant recognition, right? And it's like the gifts that you give them as well, even though this isn't really a big deal to either one of you, I think that when you give them gifts, they're going to give you gifts back as well. It's very much going to be that sort of a 50-50 reciprocity. So maybe you've had friends in the past who have, just kind of taken and taken and taken from you until you had nothing left. And you're just kind of like, what the heck? Aren't you supposed to give as well? Now, this doesn't just have to be material goods. This can also just be love, because we have a lot of love in this reading. This is someone who is definitely going to uplift you, but I think that they also, they don't necessarily demand the same thing in return, but they deserve it, and they know they deserve it. So you guys are both on the same wavelength with, like, I'm not going to spend my time with someone who doesn't necessarily have my best interest at heart, I suppose you can say. But going on to your next two cards, these are going to be your Glow Glow Tarot cards, and this is talking about their thoughts about you. So we have, oh, how cute is that? Oh my goodness. We have the Sun. Now that is so sweet because the Sun was the energy that came out for them. So it's almost like maybe they're saying they see you as their energetic counterpart, so to speak, as well. Sort of like a friendship soulmate, so to speak. But I also feel like they see you as someone who is just as uplifting, someone who is just as enlightened as well, someone who's just as playful, warm, friendly, childlike. They probably see you as someone who has just as much childhood, like, kind of innocence about you as they do. You're someone who doesn't want a lot of drama. You're someone who doesn't want just unnecessary hurt. That's the best way to put it. You're very much into helping other people grow and then growing yourself as well. But yeah, with this red flag, I also want to say that you're someone who's very passionate. They see you as someone who is kind of like a trendsetter, but also very goal-oriented. You're someone who can definitely kind of keep your eye on the prize. For some of you, you both might also be Leos. I just kind of wanted to throw that out there. Now, you don't have to. You guys might also have a lot of fire or Leo in your charts, although you don't have to. But this is definitely that very wonderful energy, very much out there, very sure of yourself, very proud as well. But they see you with the Four of Swords as someone who needs to take a break. They see you as someone who needs to have that time for yourself. You know, you need to remember to take naps. You need to remember to eat your meals. Remember to drink water. Just take care of yourself, right? This is the type of friend who is going to probably text you and say, hey, did you eat today? Did you take care of yourself? You know, how are you doing? They'll always be checking up on you because maybe they feel like you're always doing for other people and you're not resting. You're not getting enough sleep in return, right? You're putting out more than you get back. And that's why we have the Four of Swords here in reverse. So make sure that you are taking that time for yourself as well. You're relaxing, you're resting, because you're someone who works very, very hard, especially for other people and for other people's sort of well-being, their mental well-being and their health. Oh my goodness. You know, you are someone who wants everyone to be so happy and just as uplifted and nurtured as you are. And that's what they absolutely adore about you, but they wish that you would bring that more into your life as well, because you can just kind of go out and do stuff, right? Maybe they want you to just kind of sit back and do yoga with them or to meditate with them or anything along those lines, right? But all really wonderful, positive energies here. You know, they definitely see you as someone who maybe even in the past has done your healing work. You're someone who has overcome that, and now you're being able to go forward into that sort of action-oriented mode as well. Woohoo! So going on to your next two cards, these are going to be your overall friendship messages in closing before we then have your month of the year oracle card. That's going to be your tea leaf tarot card, actually. So we have the Ten of Swords with the Ace of Swords. Okay, so this is awesome. Oh my goodness. So with the Ten of Swords, it's really saying there is going to, from time to time, be kind of like, I don't want to say failure, but there is going to be times where it feels like we're defeated. It feels like maybe relationships end or friendships end or they have to die, you know, for something else to come back that's better. Because if we see this lightning, it's almost like the tower again. You know, everything is kind of being destroyed so that something better can be renewed as well. You have all of those lessons going forward, but with the Ace of Swords, it's saying don't close yourself off. Make sure that going forward now, you remember what made you feel defeated in that last relationship, and you strive to not repeat that as well. The Ace of Swords is saying speak up for yourself. You know, if you feel like someone is kind of pulling the wool over your eyes or someone is trying to deceive you or something along those lines, speak up and say, hey, that's not cool. Like, don't be doing that to me, Cheryl. You know, step back, Cheryl. What are you doing? Maybe like not that aggressive, but honestly, with the Ace of Swords, this is just saying like, hey, that wasn't cool of you, Jeremiah. I didn't like that. You know, just kind of being very honest with people, being open as well, saying, hey, you know, I'm very sensitive, you know, about my eyelashes, Franklin. You know, I wish you wouldn't make comments about that. You know, I told you about my eyelashes. You know, you shouldn't have said something. Because when you're able to speak up about it, when you're able to be kind of honest and open and forthcoming with these people, they'll understand, you know, because maybe at first people don't necessarily notice and they'll kind of make jokes or make fun, but you have to come forward and say, hey, I'm not comfortable with that. I have boundaries. These are my boundaries. And I'd really, really appreciate it if you respected those, you know? And they will. If they don't respect those boundaries, go back to that Ten of Swords energy. Be like, bye, you know? Don't go into that. Don't feel like you have to be stuck in this very kind of oppressed energy, right? Don't feel like you have to be in that energy. You know, say goodbye to Mike. If Mike is being rude to you, if Mike doesn't respect that you don't like comments made about, you know, your eyelashes, say goodbye, right? You know, if you've brought it up to Mike and he's still not respecting you, there's the door, Mike. Bye. It's very, very much that energy. So be true to yourself, be authentic, be honest, and be open. So going on to your last card, this is going to be your months of the year tea leaf tarot card. And this is just talking about what will be a really good month for you guys for meeting this person. Okay, so we have July. Oh my goodness. So definitely summer vibes. Yeah, for sure. Fun in the sun, a lot of sun energy. Look at that. Look at all this sun energy. This is definitely going to be going on in the summer, you guys. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I feel like you guys are going to be making new friends during the summer. This might even be like a group of people. Maybe this isn't necessarily even one person. Like maybe this one person is also going to be introducing you to their friends and like their colleagues and the people that they know. But overall, July is going to be a really big deal to those of you that picked stack 1. Woohoo! That's awesome. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited for you guys. This is going to be such a wonderful, loving friendship. Make sure that you are very open with this person. You're very honest. And like I said about the body language as well, you're not closing yourself up, that you're staying very open, not only with yourself, but also with others. So thank you so much, Stack 1. I hope that you enjoyed this. Please leave a comment down below if you did, and also a like. Oh my goodness, I love hearing from you guys. It makes me so happy to read you guys' comments. But yeah, thank you so much for everything that you guys do. It really means a lot to me from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate that I'm able to deliver these messages to you, honestly. But yeah, just let me know how you enjoyed this. And also, you can subscribe down at the bottom if you have not already, and hit the little bell icon, and that will notify you every time that I upload a new video. Also, all of my links are in my description box down below for my PayPal, my Etsy for personal readings, and also my Patreon. I'm actually in the process of moving right now, and then when I'm finished moving, I'm actually considering doing tarot classes and just kind of a quick course for anyone who wants to learn how to read tarot with me. It will be really fun. So yeah, look forward to that in the future. But I hope that you are doing wonderful, Stack 1. I hope that you are amazing. Definitely let me know how you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! Hello to everyone who picked stack 2. Let's get right into your reading and see what kind of friends are you attracting and how will you meet. So starting off with your first card, this is your angel therapy card, and this is on advice on how to meet them. So starting off, we have ear chakras. Woohoo! This says, notice messages that appear as sounds, music, and words from both external sources and within your mind. These messages are real answers to your prayers. So very often we can hear maybe ads on the radio that's saying, hey, come down to this convention center and have a good time, right? Or maybe come to this party and have a good time there. You're really going to have a lot of opportunities to meet a lot of different people, and they're all going to be very good for your life as well. I feel like this isn't necessarily just one person, although we are going to be focusing on one person coming into your life that's going to be very important to you. But I feel like those that pick stack 2, you're going to be meeting a lot of people over the next year as well, right? It's going to be a time where maybe you feel a little bit tired. Maybe you've just gotten over maybe a bad breakup, maybe something along those lines. But whatever it is, you're really taking time for yourself. You're relaxing. You're definitely resting and healing yourself as well. Planting roots. For some of you, you might have moved as well. Maybe you're moving cities over the next year or 2 years. Maybe you're just planning a move, and that's really how you're going to meet this person as well, is maybe you just kind of stumble into them on your move. For some of you, I'm hearing like, if you're going to San Francisco, right? Maybe you're going to meet them in San Francisco. I don't know. But whatever that might be, make sure that you're just kind of staying in that energy of going with the flow, staying very calm, cool, and relaxed. Cool as a cucumber, right? Nothing can bother you. Make sure that you're also relying on music. I feel like music is a very important part of your life for those that pick stack 2. I mean, of course, we have whale energy as well, which is definitely saying like, music is very important to me, right? Because that is a very big part of the whale culture, is music, you know, and loving a good tune, so to speak. But definitely with ear chakras, make sure that you're paying attention as well. I know that I had already kind of mentioned this, but if you're walking past people, you know, just in passing, and you overhear them saying, hey, I'm going to blah, 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 make sure that you're going there with them, you know. I mean, you don't have to go there with them. You don't have to be like, hey, Jan, I saw you. We're not really friends, but I thought I'd tag along with you and your friend. Is that Lawrence? I don't really know your name, but I thought I'd tag along anyway. Don't do that. You could just kind of go there and be like, oh, hey, I didn't even know that you were going to be here. You know, while in the back of your mind being like, I'm going to meet a great friend tonight. But honestly, make sure that you're letting go of expectations as well, because I feel like in friendships, we have to be able to just kind of go with the flow. We have to be able to put aside our expectations for overall what we would like in a friendship, because it is two people coming together, right? And it's a lot different than even a relationship, because with a friendship, it's very much something that's very solid. You're staying together because you love the banter. You love each other's minds. You love each other in such a divine way. Friendships are just amazing, right? I feel like that is a kind of magic in itself. But honestly, make sure that you are paying attention just to every different scenario that's going on around you, because that will definitely give you signs on where to meet this person and how to meet this person as well. So going on to your next 2 cards, these are your angel inspiration cards, and this is talking about what sort of energies they are going to bring into your life. So we have number 20, let go, and number 22, nurture your dreams. Okay, so I love that we have a lot of 2s here. Oh my goodness. 2s is balance, equilibrium, you know, feeling very grounded as well. I feel like you guys definitely have a lot of balance in your lives. You guys definitely want a lot of stability in your friendships and in your relationships in general. But I also love that number 22 would go to the number 4. So this is definitely talking about building that foundation, building something that is going to last the test of time, so to speak, you know. And I feel like with number 20, this is really talking about letting go of expectations, like we were just talking about, letting go of what we might expect a friendship to be as well. But it might also be letting go of past burdens, letting go of past hurts as well that might still be weighing us down. This is also talking about being able to open ourselves up and allowing ourselves to share knowledge and share information with other people as well. Share your thoughts with this person, because that's the sort of energy that they're going to be bringing towards you. This is someone who is constantly going to probably be sending you messages, right? Maybe even when you're going through a hard time in life. This is why I was picking up on sort of an energy of like a breakup even. You know, maybe you're letting go of perhaps a family member has passed, someone in your life has passed. It could even be that maybe there was a breakup or something along those lines, and they're really helping you to overcome this as well. They're helping you to plant the seeds of what it is that you want to accomplish, because that's their energy. There's someone who does want to have that stable beginning. I know I keep saying that, but oh my goodness, maybe this is someone who has a bit of like earth in their charts, right? Maybe they're a Virgo or a Capricorn, or maybe like Taurus, because it's definitely like a comfortable energy. It's something like you can pal around with them and they won't judge judge you if you eat like 5 bags of chips in one sitting. They're not going to like bother with that. They're going to be like, oh, that's pretty cool. It's a very laid back energy is really what they're bringing into this friendship and what they're bringing to you. And I think that you're really going to appreciate that because they very much nurture you. Not only you, but they nurture themselves as well. And they nurture everyone around them. They very much embody that tree energy, you know, because trees in the wild, if they sense that one of the trees is sick, they will all combine to nourish that tree, to bring it back to full health and to make sure that it is doing good, to make sure that it comes back to thriving, right? And that's very much how this person is. This is someone who is a team player. This is someone who is constantly looking out for the welfare and well-being of everyone that's involved, is constantly looking at the bigger picture. That is their energy as well, that they can look at this tiny little sprout and they can see something that is so grand, that is so much bigger than anyone can probably see looking at this tiny little green sprout, right? Everyone sees this little green boy and they're like, oh, who is he gonna be? Like a little green bean, right? But no, he turns into a great big oak tree, right? And that's incredible. But this person can see that. This person can see other people's potentials in them, even when they themselves can't. And you are absolutely going to love this person for that because they see so much in you as well. Maybe even more than you yourself can see in you, which is something that really inspires you. It's something that keeps you going, so to speak, as well. But this is someone who is very positive. They have a very uplifting energy, and that's why you like them. But with this let go card, I also feel like you love how nonchalant they are. Or at least they come off like they're nonchalant. Like they come off like they don't care. Like they're the type of person who's just like, meh, okay, bye. You know, like they hold open the door for Matthew. And they're not too worried about it. And you're like, girl, why did you let go of Matthew? And they're just like, dude, if Matthew liked me, Matthew wouldn't have left at all. Right? And if Matthew comes back, Matthew is meant for me. And I think that's something that really inspires you and something that you really wish to be like. You wish that you could have that sort of kind of respect for people and respect for kind of yourself as well, to where you're not holding on to people and you're not holding on to ideas or situations or even behaviors or coping mechanisms as well. Because this is someone with that purple energy who is very, very intuitive, someone who is very spiritual. They might be able to sense very easily when someone is lying as well. It's very much like kind of a high priestess energy is kind of what I'm getting. This is someone who is very mysterious, someone who's laid back. Now, this isn't saying that they're quiet at all. I feel like there's someone who probably is really into music. Maybe they're a musician, right? Maybe you guys are really going to bond over music. Oh, wow. Maybe you might see them performing, like this person has a band and you see them performing and you decide to stay after the show and talk to them. And that's how you guys become friends. Wow. But honestly, for the most part, I feel like you're really going to love this person's energy and this person's nature overall. They're also very, very compassionate towards the earth, towards Mother Nature, and also towards animals as a whole. They love animals and they love sticking up for creatures that really can't defend themselves or that can't stick up for themselves as well. With that sword in his hand, I do want to say that this is someone who is very straightforward, though. This is someone who will always speak their truth, and they're not going to sugarcoat things for other people. So sometimes it can come off a little bit harsh, and they don't necessarily mean to be that way, but they want to get their point across. They want to make sure that everyone understands them crystal clear, and that there isn't anything being misconstrued, or, you know, there aren't any assumptions as well, because this is the type of person who maybe assumptions have ruined relationships in the past for them, maybe even like friendships as well. So they don't like that. They like being very open. They feel like I'm an open book for my friends. It's just up to my friends to read me, right? It's very much that energy. But overall, there's someone who's very, very gifted as well. Someone who's very creative, someone who is very talented, someone who... I just feel like maybe this also might be an artist as well. But going on to your next card, this is going to be your animal messages card. And this is talking about what do you notice about this person right off the bat. I was going to say nerdist, so maybe this is someone who's a little bit of a nerd, right? Maybe they really love the same things as you, which, oh my goodness, I am all about. Yes. But we have Roadrunner. Keep your sense of humor and don't take things so seriously. Okay. So this is someone who has a really great sense of humor. This is someone who doesn't worry if they mess up. This is someone who probably is very clumsy as well. I don't know why I just picked up on that, but I feel like this is the type of person who doesn't mind if they trip out in public, or if they're a girl and they wear very big heels. Maybe they're not the type of person who's going to worry if they trip over and fall, which is very much, I feel that energy for sure. But this is a very awesome energy to be in, because this is very fun loving. This is someone who isn't going to take life very seriously. This isn't someone who, is going to... I don't think that they're going to be very offended by the things that you say to them, I suppose is the best way to put it. Because with the sword in this last card, they know what's truth and they know what's not. So they know pretty right off the bat, if someone is aiming a joke at them with good intentions, or if someone is aiming it at them with kind of bad intentions. But even then, I feel like this is the type of person who, if you made fun of them or you made a joke at their expense, they'd laugh. This is someone who would be like, oh, that's so true, right? Like, you're just kind of like, oh, that Jerry, they never take their shoes off when they get in the house and they're dirty. And Jerry's just sitting there clapping, and he's just like, that's so true though. Like, everyone loves Jerry. That's the vibe here, is even when you want to hate Jerry and you're being rude to Jerry, Jerry's still having a good time. You can't ruin that for him. And that's very much Roadrunner energy. He's someone who can't be put down, someone who can't be, I'm hearing the song, I can't be tamed, right? But someone who definitely, they can't be put down by other people. They are the creators of their own destiny, and I feel like for them, they feel very much like, I'm the one who's going to control how I'm feeling and how I'm reacting to these situations. So they feel like the only person who can make themselves feel really down and feel really bad is themselves. And that's how they sort of have control in that sense in their life. I feel like for some people that pick the stack, their friend is going to have a little bit, I don't want to say like control issues, because it's not about with other people, but it's more for themselves. I think that they like feeling in control of a situation. Maybe they were bullied in the past or something to that effect that makes them really want to have that control in their life, to where if other people are trying to degrade them or other people are trying to sort of like take the piss, at their expense, I suppose you could say, this is someone who's really not even going to bat an eyelash at that. They're just gonna be like, okay, that's cool. Thanks for the commentary, my dude. This is someone who's very level-headed. They see life as one great big party, so to speak. And especially with this orange energy at the bottom, someone who's very passionate, someone who's very straightforward, and someone who's very dedicated. Woohoo! But honestly, that's what you really love about them, and you notice right off the bat, is that they're always having fun. They might have been even like a little bit of a class clown as well, but they love having a good time. They are definitely the life of a party. So going on to your next card, this is going to be your Secrets of the Mystic Grove Oracle card, and this is talking about what sort of energy they are going to bring into this friendship. So we have number 31, Celebration. Woohoo! Celebrate good times. Come on. But honestly, with number 31, Celebration, this is amazing times. Remember how we were talking about that this is someone who is always going to have a good time? Even if people are making fun of them, they don't mind, They don't worry about it. They're just like, okay, I came out here for a party, and if you guys want to do that to have fun, that's chill. That's good with me. Because they love everyone to feel stable. They love everyone to kind of feel like they're on the same page as well. Remember how I was saying earlier that it's kind of like their life is like an open book, and it's just up to someone to be willing to read it? That's also them as well. They want to make sure that everyone is on the same page and everyone is just kind of content in their own story. But they also love joy. They love everyone being in delight, everyone being in bliss as well, being in that sort of celebration mode, that fun-loving energy. Oh my goodness. But your friendship is going to feel like one great big party, especially when this person is around. Maybe you guys are like coworkers as well, and you guys really brighten each other's days. You really, really uplift one another and make each other feel like you aren't working. I definitely feel like this is someone who, in your friendship, it is something stable, but at the same time, it's something where it's like, oh my goodness, it feels like you guys just met yesterday because it still feels so fresh and so new. Even after years of friendship and years of knowing one another, it is still so fresh. It is still something that is exciting as well, which is so awesome. You guys are constantly discovering new things together. And I feel like you guys are becoming more enlightened together. Maybe you both are very, very spiritual together, right? And you guys definitely dabble in the metaphysical together. Maybe you guys like do tarot cards together or go to like metaphysical fairs or villages. But whatever it is, I feel like you guys are constantly going out. You guys are constantly hanging out as well, because it's that very fun-loving energy. It's almost like if you guys weren't to get married, you guys would probably like get a joint apartment and hang out with each other all the time then and just live with one another and be roommates, because it's a very, very fun energy, and it's something that can grow as the two of you grow as well. It is something that can continue to kind of metamorphosize as well, since we have this butterfly in the corner. But for the most part, I feel like this person can also feel very burdened at times, which is why they have a very lighthearted approach to life. Maybe this is someone who has struggled with medical problems in the past, or this is someone who maybe they've just experienced some really tough dark nights of the soul, so to speak. And with this card, it's like they just want to have good times going forward. They don't want heavy energies. They don't want heavy times. They want happiness. And that's why they have this energy of letting go, because it's like, let's just party, let's just have a good time, and let's not think about whatever is bothering us until like maybe an hour from now or tomorrow or maybe 5 years from now. Maybe this person is a little bit of a procrastinator as well, but I feel like for the most part they don't mean any harm. They're just looking for everyone to be in that sort of joyous energy. So starting into your next card, because I'm so excited to see what this animal energy is going to be for them after seeing Roadrunner and this celebration card. I'm like, whoa. But honestly, going on to the animal totem card, this is going to be their overall energy. So we have the 7 of Wands. Oh, skunk energy. So they're very unassuming. I feel like they're the type of person who maybe you wouldn't even assume that they're the type of person who would go out partying until 5 a.m. because maybe they're a kindergarten teacher. Maybe there's someone who is very, I don't want to say strict, but maybe they have a good schedule, I suppose you can say, or they have very good goals and good morals. But this is someone who you wouldn't see them or paint them as someone who would maybe dabble in the things that they do. This is someone who loves going out to clubs, maybe who loves partying. They're just a fun, loving energy. They're down for anything at least once. They're a very explorative energy for sure. But I feel like as well with that energy, they found themselves in the past getting into situations that they probably wish that they wouldn't have gotten themselves into. Because that's what the 7 of Wands is all about with the skunk energy, is that this skunk is like, yes, I've reached paradise. I have all of these crops to eat, and then these farmers over here are like, are you kidding? Get out of here, Mr. Skunk. But this skunk here is just sort of like minding his own business. He's going to eat his fill until he decides to leave. Why? Because he has the upper hand. He stinks, right? So he can make all of their crops absolutely stink. So they'll let him eat his fill until he leaves. And that's very much this person's energy, is just sort of like they might get themselves into bad situations, but they will always get themselves out of it as well. But that's also probably why I was picking up on kind of a procrastinating energy, because there's someone who kind of goes with the flow. They kind of put things off until the last minute and then they do it. But it might also be an energy that they're a little bit of a perfectionist, and then that's why they'll wait to the last minute. But for the most part, with the 7 of Wands, there's someone who does think outside of the box. They think a little bit differently from other people as well, and that's why it gets them into a little bit of trouble. Or maybe it's kind of like, you guys as well, being together, this person is going to be like the Ethel to your Lucy. That's going to be the kind of shenanigans that the two of you are getting into. And maybe your partners just kind of look at each other at the end of the day and are like, I can't believe they've done this again. Like, oh my goodness, these two are back at it again. What's happening here, right? Because that's very much their own energy, is that they walk in on things that they shouldn't. Like, you know those scenes in movies where, like, someone just kind of walks in on, like, a stereotypical, like, something bad happening, and they just sort of stare and then slowly walk back out and close the door behind them? That's this person. That is this person's energy to a T. Is that they're so unsuspecting, but they have a lot of great stories. It's like, you know, like Tana Mojo, or yeah, it's kind of like that sort of an energy, like story time. There's always a story time video, like, you know, that they can tell you about. Like, they'll be like, hey, do you want to hear about the time that I accidentally ran in on this, you know, and you're just kind of like, how did that even happen, right? But everyone loves this person because they are so much fun. They are such a wonderful energy. Oh my goodness. Like, and I think that their laugh is so contagious as well. They could just sort of fill up a room. They have such an uplifting aura to them. Oh my goodness. But for the most part, I feel like they're always going to have you laughing. They're always going to have you, like, holding your sides as well. It's just going to be a lot. But for the most part, this is someone who has a lot of really, really awesome stories, you know, and they're always going to just be there for you as well, because they know what it's like to go into these sort of situations alone and go into these situations feeling like nervous, right? But yeah. So going on to your next three cards, I'm sorry if I totally like butchered Tana's name, by the way, but honestly, so going on to your next three cards, these are going to be your Witch's Tarot cards, and this is talking about how you will meet, like what sort of an energy will there be when the two of you go together and meet. So the next three cards after this, I actually pulled you four, I thank you guys, but your next few cards are going to actually be your Wheel of the Year Tarot cards, and these are going to be also talking about where you might meet. So let's start off with how. So these are going to be just sort of energies that you might feel upon meeting them. We have the Ace of Cups, the King of Swords, and the Seven of Cups. Oh my goodness. Okay, so these are really awesome energies. So the Ace of Cups right off the bat is just talking about there's going to be a lot of fulfillment. You know, it's going to be a lot of good times, a lot of happiness. It's almost going to feel like you've won the lottery. You've won the friend lottery, right? So to speak, because this is someone who completely understands you. But notice that we have another sword here. We have two people in the spread that are holding swords. So this is someone who is very truthful. I feel like they might have a lot of air energy in their chart as well, although they do not have to. But swords is usually Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini energy. So this is someone who is definitely kind of go with the flow energy, but they're very analytical as well. There's someone who definitely thinks with their head over their heart most of the time. But for this friendship in general, you know, with the Ace of Cups, it's almost like you guys are both going to fulfill each other, especially with the Seven of Cups. It's going to be a little bit confusing though. Like, should I be friends with this person? You know, there might even be a little bit of doubt. Like, what if this person decides to cut me out of their life? What if this person decides to just be like totally truthful and honest? Like, I don't like you, bye. You know, because that's how this person is. They're a little bit, I feel like you might see them as a little bit brutally honest at times, which they really pride themselves on, because there was a time where they kind of held back whatever it was that they really wanted to say, especially when it goes to getting really deep about themselves, because they like being that person who is open and who is authentic, but they also don't like to be too transparent with people. That's why we picked up on that High Priestess energy earlier, you know, with that purple energy, because this is someone who is a little bit mysterious. They like having secrets, you know, and I think it's because they have been burned in the past before that they don't necessarily like playing with fire. They don't just kind of go out and seek to do that without there being a good cause for it. So as long as you're being very truthful to this person, I think that there's going to be a lot of very good energy from it. But make sure that you're being straightforward with this person and saying, hey, I really love your energy. I think that we could be really good friends. Or maybe even just say, hey, you know, we like the same things. Would you like to hang out and do this thing together, you know? Say, hey, Avengers Infinity, or not Infinity War, Endgame, Avengers Endgame is coming out soon. You want to go out and see that together, you know? It's that sort of a vibe. Maybe that's it. Maybe they haven't seen Avengers Infinity War or any of the Avengers, and they're just kind of like, oh my goodness, I have all these movies to catch up on. They're nervous now. But honestly, whatever it might be, I think that it's going to be a really, really conductive relationship and a really wonderful friendship for the two of you as well. But right off the bat, it'll be a little bit scary because, like I said, this person might be a little bit intimidating, but they might feel like you're a little bit intimidating as well. But it's just because you guys both know what it is that you want, even if you act a little bit confused on the surface about what it is that you want out of a friendship, or what it is that you're expecting out of a friendship or partnership. But yeah, overall, it's like you guys are going to know immediately, oh my goodness, this is someone who has the same sense of humor as me, right? And that's really going to be the connector here. And not only is it like a king, that's really mature energy, right? This is something that's like, I'm not coming at you as a page. I'm not coming at you as a knight. I'm a king. I am someone who has done all my work. I am someone who isn't going to play games or mess around with your heart as well. This is someone who is very steady and very stable. Woohoo! Which is so awesome. Okay, so going on to your next 4 cards, these are going to be your Wheel of the Year tarot cards, and like I said earlier, these are going to be talking about kind of where you might meet. So we are going to be looking at all of the different pictures and then just kind of be going off of that and any kind of vibes. So this is going to be going out to quite a few different people, so there might be a few different messages here. So I'll throw out a few different scenarios that I pick up on. So we have the 7 of Wands, followed by the 2 of Chalices, followed by the 4 of Pentacles, and the 8 of Chalices. Okay, so for some of you, I feel like maybe you might meet this person through maybe your partner, maybe your current partner, maybe a future partner, maybe even an ex. You know, maybe this is someone that a partner of yours was very close to. Although it doesn't necessarily have to be that. It might also be that you might meet this person either in springtime or also autumn, because we have a lot of this beautiful fall energy. For some of you, you might be kind of participating in water sports. Maybe you're a literal pirate, right? Because in Key West, you can like go on actual pirate ships and then take care of them. Maybe that's where you're at. Maybe that's where you meet this person. It might also be that you guys are both going through a little bit of struggle in your day-to-day life and are just looking to get out. Maybe you meet this person at a plant fair. Maybe you meet this person at a plant trade or an exchange, maybe even a plant group on Facebook or something along those lines. But for the most part, I feel like some of you will definitely be meeting this person when you're moving. You know, this is either moving energy or when you're traveling, but it's definitely like you're going places, right? You're very, very honest and straightforward with yourself as well about where it is that you really want to go. And then that's where you kind of get led, I suppose you can say. And that's why we have ear chakras, because it's like you are taking the initiative to go out. You are putting yourself out there to meet someone. Now, this is saying don't put yourself out there in order like to kind of make a self-fulfilling prophecy of this person is going to leave, because this person is definitely not going to leave. I can tell you that right now. Oh my goodness. You know, this is someone who is going to stay for the long haul. So make sure that you are keeping in that really positive energy as well when meeting this person. But for the most part, I feel like some of you, it's going to vary. Some of you will meet them in fall time. Some of you will meet them in summertime. Some of you will meet them in spring. But for the most part, I definitely feel like you're going to be meeting this person when there's movement. Do you see how at each one of these cards there's movement? Like this guy is hoarding his bag of treasures, but he's like hobbling away with it, right? There's like no one there, but he's still looking around like, I'm keeping this for myself. And then these two, they're like hurrying so that the water doesn't come inward. And then this one, he's leaving completely, and she's upset about it, right? She's waving to him. She's like, bye, you know? So with all of this energy, it's almost like for the majority of you, you're either going to be moving, or you're going to be traveling, you know, or maybe you'll just be going to meetups or get-togethers, maybe even family reunions, something along those lines. For some of you, maybe this is like a distant cousin or something along those lines. But whatever this might be, this is a really, really wonderful, wonderful friendship, especially with this Two of Chalices here. This is really saying that, you know, maybe you guys are also going to meet up at a family function such as a wedding or maybe a birthday or something along those lines, because the Two of Chalices not only is like couplings for me, but it also feels very uplifting. It's just love in general, right? So I definitely feel like maybe your family and friends could also introduce you guys, but for the most part, it's like you'll meet them traveling or going somewhere. For some of you, water sports, maybe canoeing or kayaking during the summer as well. But there's a lot of mountains in the background as well, which is kind of what I want to point out. So maybe it's like you guys might meet like hiking, which kind of reminds me of stack 1 in a sense. But anyway, going on to your next 2 cards, these are going to be your Witch's Tarot cards, and this is talking about the overall friendship and dynamic that is between the two of you. Okay, so we have the Page of Pentacles and the Devil. Okay, so right off the bat, I want to cover the Devil energy because this is saying that maybe you guys can tend to be a little bit codependent on one another. You know, it's not necessarily saying that there's anything bad, you know, in this relationship or in this platonic partnership. But what this is saying is that make sure that you are still relying on yourself. Make sure that you are still remaining independent in your own energies as well and staying strong in your own power. Because with the Page of Pentacles, this is saying that this is going to be something that can grow with time as well. It can grow into something that is very abundant, something that will provide something very wonderful for the both of you. I almost feel like with the Page of Pentacles as well, maybe there will be offerings of joining the same job. Maybe you guys will become co-workers, or I even kind of picked up on that at the beginning of the spread that maybe you guys were already co-workers or something along those lines. But I also want to say that make sure you guys aren't just kind of staying codependent on each other because you're in a bad situation or you're in a bad work environment, right? And also don't worry that you are only friends because of that, because I feel like you guys are really, really awesome together. So if you do end up leaving maybe a work environment where the two of you are at together, that doesn't necessarily suit you, I feel like just make sure that you remain in contact, that you keep extending that pentacle out to this person. You keep extending your hand and saying, hey, you know, you want to hang out this weekend, you want to go do this, you want to go do that. But overall, the main dynamic is something that's very beautiful. It's something that's very conductive. It is something that is always going to remain something that is always growing, something that is a little bit immature at times. I feel like you guys kind of act like school children at times, which people really love. I feel like people are very you brighten their days. You brighten their days together, right? Just you guys' energies together. But at the same time, when the two of you aren't feeling good, yeah, I feel like it can also bring other people down as well. So maybe it's a little bit volatile of a friendship at times. So just make sure that you're keeping your boundaries. Make sure that you are vibrating in good vibrations as well, as opposed to this devil energy, because this can also talk about jealousy. This can talk about, like I said, codependency. I really just feel like for the most part, those that pick this pile, you might struggle with at some point doing everything with this person, or, you know, or vice versa, or asking them for advice on everything that you do in life or something along those lines, so to speak. So make sure that you really kind of keep a close eye on that and you're being very fair. You're staying very stable and grounded in yourself as well. Because you notice how these two almost look like these two over here? Like, honestly, like all grown up in a sense. So it's almost like maybe it's going to start out very promising, but then as you get older, it's going to become a little bit harder, you know, and like as time goes on, as the relationship gets older, maybe it'll be a little bit stressful to kind of keep those ties about who they are and who you are. You know, I feel like maybe the lines can be a little bit blurred at times, if that makes sense, right? Sorry for rambling there. I feel like that was a really like deep message for some of you guys. but make sure to really keep a close eye that you don't become kind of codependent on this person or overly reliant on this person as well. So going on to your next 4 cards, these are going to be your Glow Tarot cards, and these are talking about their thoughts on you. Okay, so your friend thinks of you as the Magician, woohoo! The Knight of Swords in reverse, the 5 of Swords in reverse, and the 3 of Pentacles. Okay, so these are awesome cards. Oh my goodness. The Magician right off the bat, you know, they see you as someone who is very resourceful. They see you as someone who has all of the keys in life to be very successful, to be very abundant, to be very happy as well. They see you as someone who can achieve all of their goals and all of their dreams. You know, you're someone who is a master manifester as well. You work very good with the law of attraction, and maybe they're a little bit jealous of you for that, you know, at times, as they're just kind of like, wow, this person has a lot more than me. This person might even have a little bit easier than me. Not necessarily saying that you do, but that can be kind of how they view you at times, which is why we have this devil energy. Because they see you as someone who is so advanced, someone who is unconditionally loving, someone who is very accepting as well, someone who is always leveling up. But with the Knight of Swords in reverse, you know, this is really saying that they see you as someone who is a little bit hesitant about coming towards people with clarity or with your own truth. You know, maybe even speaking up for yourself. You're a little bit hesitant about doing that, which they admire, but they're also like, oh my goodness, start speaking up for yourself. You know, if there's something that I do that upsets you, tell me about it. They want you to be open about it. They don't want you to hold that in for yourself. Because that's why we have the 5 of Swords in reverse. They see you as someone who isn't going to manipulate a situation, someone who doesn't manipulate other people, because this is mind games. This is mind tricks. This is someone who has, you know, in the upright, it's someone who has the last word all the time. Someone who takes all of these swords and then giggles to themselves about it, right? While everyone just kind of goes off and cries. So they see you as someone who's very kind-hearted, someone who, even though you're a winner, you don't taunt people with it. You know, you're very humble. You don't kind of rub it in people's faces, so to speak. But for the most part, you take your time. You're very meticulous. I feel like slow and steady wins the race, or at least that's how they view you. Whereas they see themselves as someone who can very much just kind of go for things. And I feel like for them, they see themselves as the 5 of Swords in the upright. I don't know why I feel like, but I feel like that there's someone who's really good at comebacks. There's someone who is really good at cutting deep as well. Maybe they don't even necessarily realize it at times. But that's why they see you as it in the reverse, because they're like, this person doesn't have a mean bone in their body. Oh my goodness, right? But with the 3 of Pentacles, they see you as someone who works very good with others. They see you as someone who definitely has a very good sense of togetherness. You're someone who can work on collaborations. You're someone who, like I said, maybe you are co-workers with them. Maybe you guys are entrepreneurs. Maybe you guys are just kind of going towards new ideas together. Maybe you guys have a hobby that you guys really want to pursue as a career together, but regardless, they see you as a really good business person. They see you as someone who is very smart with money. They see you as someone who is very smart with blueprints and also planning as well. They see you as someone who has a very good head on their shoulders, someone who is very stable, someone who can stand their own ground as well, even though you might not necessarily want to when that time arises, right? Because you are non-confrontational. You are someone who just wants everyone to go with the flow and to have a good time, which is so admirable, right? With number 3, you are someone who has a lot of harmony. So, I do want to say that you are a lot like them in that sense, to where they want harmony, they want bliss, they want joy, they want celebration, and you are the exact same way, and that's what I really love. Now, I want to say that, you know, with the Devil card, now this doesn't have to even... Remember how I had said jealousy earlier? I just wanted to bring this up really quick, that this isn't even them, like, thinking to themselves, oh, that Linda, how dare she look way better than me, you know, like, with that new JoJo Siwa bow in her hair, you know, like, no one's going to be doing that here in this spread. But honestly, with this Devil card, it might be their own insecurities. This is someone who they put on such a front, and they put on this act of ultimate confidence, that maybe they themselves can kind of get overwhelmed and can be like, I'm nothing compared to this person, right? You know, maybe they'll put themselves down a lot when they're around you, and it's not even necessarily anything that you do. It's just kind of a reflection for themselves. I really wanted to bring that up again, though, really, really quick, because this is a really good person. I feel like they've just been through a lot in their life, and sometimes they can deal with their own insecurities. And I feel like maybe you have them as well, and maybe you guys can kind of feed off of, not necessarily feed off of each other's insecurities, but it's like you guys mirror each other. There we go. It's almost like a mirror. And, you know, your flaws and all of that is a mirror to them, and that kind of triggers them into saying, well, these are the things in myself that I have to fix in myself, and vice versa. This is going to be a very uplifting relationship, but with the devil, it's also going to be something that you guys learn from. You know, I see the devil sometimes as being like, we aren't bound to these thoughts about ourselves. We aren't bound to situations or relationships or anything along those lines. We are bound to ourselves, and we are honest to ourselves. So make sure that you are doing that. You know, make sure that you're being honest with yourself. Make sure that you are seeing yourself as a prize as well. And also telling your friend when you meet this person, say, hey, you are someone who is absolutely out of this world, right? You are someone who is so incredible. And really, you know, tell them that. Say, you don't have to feel like this, you know, because you are someone who is just as amazing, because they see you as someone who is absolutely incredible. I think that they see you as someone who, I don't want to say perfect, but they see you as pretty darn close, right? Because you're the whole package. You're someone who is compassionate. You are amazing. You are intelligent. You are creative. You are a very good world builder. I feel like for some of you, you would be very good authors, right? So for the most part, I feel like it would be just kind of something that it's just they're like, meh. I guess is the best way to put it. They're just like, meh. I don't really know if I can actually kind of compare to this person. But you guys can, you know, you guys are an energetic match when it comes to this friendship as well. And I just wanted to put that out there. So going on to your next two cards, these are going to be overall messages on this friendship. So we have the Star and the Five of Swords. Okay, so with this vibe, this is really talking about there might be defeat in our life, but that's something that we can always learn from. It's something that we can always pick ourselves up, you know, and decide, is this something that I'm going to use as a tool of something that is going to hold me back, or something that is going to help propel me forward and help me to learn these lessons as well. Because with the Star, you know, this is number 17, which would be the number 8. This is something that is making you feel very determined again. You feel very renewed, because the Star is all about renewal. It's about hope as well. Have hope and know and trust in the universe as well, that this friendship is going to come along, and that this is going to be something that is very, very beautiful for the two of you as well. Sorry about that, my camera stopped recording, but yeah, so I know that we kind of hit up on a little bit of negative energies, or at least energies that were a little bit heavier with this Devil card, but don't worry about it too much. Oh my goodness, this is going to be an absolutely awesome friendship. It is going to be one that brings on a lot of happiness, and it's also going to bring on a lot of growth as well. And that's really why I see the Five of Swords here, is that it's going to be something that brings on a lot of lessons between the two of you. It's something that is going to cause the two of you to almost kind of grow in a way that maybe you didn't even expect to grow in the past, I suppose you can say. But going on to your last card, this is going to be your month of the year card, and this is going over what will be an important month with meeting this person, or just an important month with this person in general. So we have October, woohoo! So this definitely goes with all our fall theme that we had with the Four of Pentacles. Oh my goodness, look at those fall leaves. Woohoo! So for sure, some of you are definitely going to be spending maybe Halloween together, you know, or definitely that beautiful fall weather. But for the most part, I feel like October is going to be a very, very wonderful month for you guys. Woohoo! So definitely let me know if you enjoyed this stack too. Oh my goodness, this sounds like such an awesome friendship, and I want to be involved in it now. But definitely let me know if you enjoyed this. Leave a like down below and also a comment. I absolutely love hearing from you guys so much. It makes me so happy to read you guys' comments. And yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this. All of my links are in my description box down below. My PayPal, my Etsy for personal readings, and also my Patreon Patreon. After I am done moving, I am actually in the process of moving right now. I am thinking about doing tarot courses for anyone that is interested in learning about, what each card means and the like. But yeah, so that will be really, really exciting. I'm so excited about that. But I hope you all are doing really, really wonderful. Make sure to subscribe if you have not already. You can hit that little bell icon next to the subscribe button, and that will notify you every time that I post a video. But yeah, I hope to see you in my next pick a card. Bye! Hello to everyone who picked stack 3. Let's get right into your reading and see what kind of friends are you attracting and how will you meet. So starting off with your first card, this is going to be your angel therapy card, and this is talking about advice on how to meet this person. So starting off, we have sacral chakra. It says you are highly sensitive to chemicals, additives, processed foods, and energies right now. Respect your sensitivities by avoiding harsh items, situations, and relationships. Make sure that you respect your boundaries as well, especially when it comes to people. Don't allow people to walk all over you. Don't allow people to take you for granted. Don't allow people to also kind of take you for a ride as well, because you are someone who is very worthy of wonderful relationships, very conductive at relationships as well. As you can see in the background, we have all of these clouds behind this angel, and it's very much saying that these are kind of temporary problems. These are problems that will clear away as time continues on. Now, we can choose to go indoors if we are worried that there is going to be a little bit of rain, so we can remove ourselves from these situations and from these partnerships as well. But going forward, I feel like it's just kind of the time to start over anew. It's a good time to reap new rewards and plant new seeds as well, so to speak. Now is the time to be setting the intentions and saying, hey, this is what I really want out of a friendship. This is what I want out of a partnership. This is what I want out of life as a whole as well. But going forward, I think that you want someone who is going to share both the good times and the bad times with you. You don't want someone who is going to be a fair weather friend to where, they're with you when it's a really, really sunny day, but then when it's a cloudy day like it is now, they're nowhere to be seen. Where are they? Where is my friend Franklin? Where is Jasmine? Where are they, right? But they're nowhere to be seen. And then it's kind of like when the sun comes back out, everyone's here. Everyone's with you. But you are kind of like, hey, I want someone who's going to be here with me all the time. Someone who's going to help me plant my flowers even on the cloudiest days, even on the darkest days as well. Even on my dark nights of the soul, we are going to get through it together, and I'm going to help them as well. It's very much a wonderful relationship that will help the both of you grow. I also feel like with her spreading the flowers out on the ground, sorry that's a little bit blurry, with her spreading the flowers out on the ground, this is really saying that you want someone who is going to share the really big moments in your life as well. Someone who is going to maybe go to your wedding, maybe be your flower girl, someone who is going to be fixing your wedding dress for you, someone who is going to be helping you with your tuxedo, just different things along those lines, and who will also be sharing those really big aspects of your life with you. Someone who, like I said, will be feeling a lot more like family as opposed to a friend, because with this elephant energy, this is definitely talking about someone who, feels like they are more of a family member than a friend, someone who is definitely a lot closer to you, than maybe most people on the outside as well. Because elephants can communicate telepathically, so it's definitely saying, like, you guys can understand each other by just looking at one another without even having to have there be words, right? And that's what you want out of a friendship. You want it to be, even when the strongest winds are blowing, you both remain very strong. The two of you remain very committed to this partnership, this platonic partnership. You both remain very committed to this friendship as well. Because I feel like sometimes if things can get a little bit rocky, sometimes people can be like, okay, bye, and they'll just like run off into the sunset, and you'll be like, well, what the heck, now I have to plant these flowers all by myself. And then when the flowers are fully bloomed, then they'll come back and say, oh wow, they can't just come and enjoy this with me when they want. You don't want any fair weather friends, right? Let's say this together, no more fair weather friends. But going forward, I think that you're really going to be looking at it as kind of like a new life for yourself, a new opportunity for yourself as well to be making these new bonds. Woohoo! So that is awesome. I feel like for some of you as well, you might also be taking up a new healthier diet over the next year, 2 years, even 3 years as well. So you might kind of go to conventions for that. You might also be kind of going to meetups. For some of you, I kind of feel like you'll be going to vegan meetups. Also just kind of like cookouts, like maybe family cookouts and things along those lines, because that's very important for you. I feel like those that pick stack 3, family is very, very important to you, and so are those close bonds. Oh my goodness. But for the most part, you've had to be able to honor yourself as well and put your foot down and say, hey, if I'm not in a healthy relationship, whether that be with, a close platonic partner or a romantic partner, or even just like a family member, no matter what it is, I have to put my foot down and I have to say, hey, is this healthy for myself or is this not, right? And that's all about the sacral chakra energy in this card. It's saying, I'm honoring myself, I'm honoring my boundaries, and I'm only going forward with things and energies that make sense to me, with people that are going to be beautiful in my life as well, that are going to help me plant this garden and help me to reap these rewards as well. So going on to your next 2 cards, these are going to be your angel inspiration cards, and these are talking about what energies this person is going to bring into your life. So we have number 31, be strong, and number 28, honor life's cycles. Okay, so this is really, really awesome, because the number 31, be strong, not only do we have the number 4, and that really represents stability, it represents the fact that they have built themselves a strong foundation to kind of stand upon, which would be this rock, right? They are someone who can stand on their own 2 feet, someone who is very reliant, self-sufficient, someone who doesn't need other people, although they really love other people. I think that they see relationships definitely as a plus in their life and kind of an added bonus. It's almost like that cherry on top, so to speak. People can see them as a little bit reserved, a little bit quiet, and maybe even a little bit mysterious. They're not even mysterious, but maybe people are just feeling a little bit intimidated by this person. Like maybe this person is a little bit of a jerk secretly, but they're not. I swear this person is the sweetest person alive. Oh my goodness. But they have been through a lot, which is why we have number 28, honor life cycles. With it being number 28, this would be the number 10, and this is really talking about that they have been to a lot of ends of cycles. They have experienced a lot of loss as well, whether this be financial or family members passing, friends passing, whatever that might be. They have experienced a lot of loss, a lot of heartbreak, but they have also experienced sort of a learning transformation in themselves on how to transmutate that energy into something that is a lot more conductive for their life as well, maybe into passion, into something that is going to be more fulfilling for their career as well. This is kind of transmutating anger in a situation towards like love even. But they are really kind of like, they remind me of the card of the magician, in a sense, I suppose you can say, because they are very enlightened, they are very spiritual, they are very intuitive as well. Do you see this moon in the background? So it's definitely saying that this is someone who works with moon cycles. This is someone who probably feels very good under the full moon as well. You might notice that they feel very much in their power the week and the week after of the full moon as well, because they start setting their intentions. I think also they work with the moon cycles in general. They also do candle magic for some of you. For some of you, they do candle magic. For some of you, they also do energy healing, or they send energy off to other people without necessarily even knowing it, right? Which is absolutely awesome. But I also feel like on this kind of intuitive aspect of them, they can also kind of talk to their past family members. They have that sort of mediumship vibe to them as well, which I think that you would think is really, really awesome as well, that they can do that, because they've had a lot of experiences, maybe with the paranormal and with the supernatural, that will really intrigue you, and you'll really want to hear more about them. They're very, very good storytellers as well. They don't over-exaggerate anything. They tell everything just as it is. But they have a really, really awesome way of just telling stories, I suppose you can say, that is really animated and really brings the whole story to life. But overall, this person is very strong because they've had to go through a lot of tough situations. They've been through a lot of heavy energies and heavy situations just as you have. So I think that is something that is going to be absolutely wonderful about this relationship as well, this friendship, this platonic relationship, if you will. I know I keep saying that and I feel so awkward. I feel like kind of like a robot when I say that. But honestly, that's how it's going to be, because you guys are going to be kind of like, I don't want to say inseparable, but you guys are definitely going to be that pair that goes almost everywhere together at times, because it's like this person is everyone's rock, right? It's kind of like the community rock that everyone looks up to and everyone is like, wow, right? Because we have the mountains in the background, and it's very much, remember we were talking about how you want someone who is going to stay during the windiest times of the year? Well, this is all about what Be Strong is as well, because I'm trying to remember the actual quote, but I think it's something along the lines of the mountain is unwavering no matter how daunting the wind might be or blow or whatever. Something along those lines. Let me know down below what is that phrase again. But honestly, that is definitely what is going on here. They are going to stand with you even during the toughest times, even during the kind of coldest times as well, even when you feel like there might not be a lot of hope. This is someone who can see the light at the end of the tunnel and can kind of keep pushing on, even when they feel like maybe there isn't much to keep going towards or much to keep going forward for. This is someone who has always picked themselves up kind of at the last minute is kind of the vibe that I'm feeling. And for the most part, I also want to say that this is someone who isn't very good with words. I feel like this is someone who gets very tongue-tied. They get very tongue-twisted as well. They have a lot better of a time talking through email or through text messages because they can kind of get all of their thoughts into one area at one time. But when they're talking face-to-face, it's kind of like they just don't know what to say. Their words get all jumbled up, and their mind goes a bajillion miles an hour, I was going to say a majillion. But honestly, this is honestly a wonderful energy because they are very thoughtful in that sense as well, to where they don't want to just blurt out something and then just be like, oh, wait, no, I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say this. They very much think everything out. They're very analytical. They're very methodical, and very meticulous as well. So going on to your next card, this is going to be your animal messages card, and this is going to be a quality about them that really stood out to you. So we have unicorn. Woohoo! Oh my goodness. So it says, indulge your creative, imaginative, and magical side through some form of artistic expression. Okay, so right off the bat, do you see this? Do you see how there's like this light, and then look at this card as well. They definitely work with energy healing. They definitely work with their energy as well. I don't know if they transfer it to other people knowingly, but they're definitely doing it, right? Regardless of what it is, I feel like this is someone who also prays for other people or keeps other people in their thoughts and manifestations, which is so awesome. They're always kind of hoping the best for other people. They always want everyone to be uplifted as well and feel good. But with unicorn, like I was saying, they are someone who can tell a really good story. They're someone who's very creative, someone who's very inspirational, someone who's very uplifting as well. Oh my goodness. You can have a lot of good times with this person, and I think that that's really why you gravitate towards them. Sorry, my hair is kind of in the shot. But honestly, like, also with this unicorn vibe, do you see how we have almost every color going on in this card? This is really talking about that this is someone who is very enlightened. This is someone who has a lot of aspects of themselves as well that you can really come to love and come to understand as well. It's almost like they're an onion, and you just kind of keep pulling back their layers one by one, and you're just like, wow, how much more of there is there to you, And this person is just so intricate, and it's almost like they themselves are a work of art, and they are so out of this world. Oh my goodness, they are unlike anyone that you've ever met. Like, they could have an hour-long conversation with you just about ground sloths and versus Tyrannosaurus Rex, right? They think of the most outlandish stuff. It is wonderful. You're absolutely living for it, right? But I think on the outside, a lot of people can either feel that they're very intimidated by this person, or they can feel like this person is a little bit too daydreamy. So I feel like it definitely varies from person to person. So far, I'm definitely feeling like a definite Pisces vibe for this person, although they don't have to be a Pisces. I'm just feeling like that sort of daydreamy energy, very much go with the flow, kind of trying to keep an optimistic, positive outlook at everything as well. You know, and with this unicorn card, I feel like their divine purpose here is to uplift other people, is to bring other people a peace of mind and a happiness as well, right? And that's really why they're coming into your life too, is to help uplift you, is to help kind of show you as well that you can achieve all of your goals and then some, right? To kind of strive for the stars. But I think it's also going to be vice versa, that you're also going to teach this person a lot, you know, but this person is also someone who is very, very authentic, someone who is one of a kind. And I think that you really enjoy the fact that they are so fearless and brave in who they are. Oh my goodness. You know, it's almost like you look at them and you're in awe of the fact that they can just go out there and achieve their dreams and achieve their goals without having to even think twice about it. But, you know, it's because they have thought about it before in the past, and they've done already all of the analyzing and all of the thinking, and then they're moving forward. But they're they're daydreamers, and I feel like that's also another thing that helps them to make a game plan and to make a blueprint as well, is the fact that they are such wonderful daydreamers. You know, they are in-depth daydreamers as well. But this is someone who has so many beautiful aspects of them, and you're really, really going to be drawn to that right off the bat. They're just going to have such an incredible aura and energy to them as well. So that already is just so phenomenal. So now we are going to go on to your next card. This is going to be your Secrets of the Mystic Grove card, and this is talking about what sort of energy they bring into this friendship. So we have number 21, letting go, release, farewell, and impermanence. Okay, so this is a really awesome card because not only do we have this owl here, which is really talking about wisdom, inner guidance as well, you know, which they certainly do have, but I feel like they're also bringing in that quality as well that is kind of showing you as well that you can release old cycles, because maybe with their graciousness to change and their graciousness to releasing past loved ones and things along those lines, I feel like that's really going to inspire you, because maybe you're kind of struggling with ending these cycles, whether they be good cycles or bad cycles, you know, or cycles that it was just kind of heavy energies. I feel like you're kind of struggling with letting go, but this person is going to help you accept change and help you to really embrace it as well, and embrace all of the opportunities that are really going to be coming forward and coming your way. But we have release as well, so it's like this person is really going to encourage you to step outside of the box, step outside of your comfort zone as well, and to kind of release anything that wasn't serving you before, because this person doesn't want you to be weighed down by something that is very heavy energy. They don't want you to be weighed down by anything that isn't going to be in your best interest as well. You know, because they themselves have been in situations that maybe they've been in there for too long, right? Or a lot longer than maybe they should have been. And that's why they're really coming forward with that encouraging energy, and they're saying, hey, you know, nothing is forever. Change is normal. Change is the one thing that we have to all kind of go with the flow and accept, you know, and sometimes when one cycle ends, it's because we're going to have a better cycle, a more fulfilling cycle, something that's going to kind of be a lot more renewing as well, because I'm being drawn to these stars. And when I see stars, I also think of the Star Tarot card, you know, and that's kind of a renewal of hope. That's just feeling renewed all around, especially with the number 21. That would be the number 3 that's coming into harmony with yourself. I feel like this is someone who is going to bring a lot of harmony into your life, a lot of equilibrium, but they're also going to help you see things from a different perspective, because 3 would be the mind, the body, and the spirit. So it's all 3 aspects of yourself kind of coming coming together in order to make a decision, in order to release the past, in order to go forward as well. So I think that is a really, really beautiful energy that this person is really bringing into your life. They're also kind of bringing an energy in that's saying, trust your intuition more, make sure that you are trusting yourself and trusting the messages that you're receiving from the divine as well. So going on to your next two cards, these are going to be your Animal Totem Tarot cards, and this is talking about their energy overall. So we have the Queen of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. Okay, so these are really, really awesome cards, but right off the bat, I want to cover the Queen of Pentacles because she is my favorite card in the deck. She is someone who takes care of herself. She is enjoying her own day. She's having a spa day. She's not worried about what everyone else is doing. She's setting aside her pentacle and her crown in order to just sort of relax and sunbathe. Woohoo, right? Just sort of smell the flowers and enjoy her time. So this person really understands the meaning and the importance of self-care. They're someone who understands their worth as well. If this is someone who kind of charges like different rates for maybe services as well, they know their worth and what they're supposed to be charged for, which is why they're the Queen of Pentacles. They're very mature, they're very compassionate, they're very nurturing as well, but they can also take care of business. They can take care of themselves and they can take care of others as well. This is someone who is very self-reliant. They don't need other people, but like I was saying, they do see it as an added bonus. But they themselves are very prepared. That's why we have the Four of Wands here. It's like, I have my nest, I have everything. I have everything under control. I just need a friend, maybe a partner, things along those lines. But those even aren't a worry because this person knows that the partner is someone that is always going to come in. They can always find someone, that really isn't kind of a worry to this person. They just want to have really good bonds with other people. They want to have good platonic bonds as well. Maybe it stresses them out a little bit to make friends or to meet new people as well. And maybe that's something that you guys are really going to bond over, is how stressful it is to meet new people and to have new bonds as well, which I think is a little bit funny. But for the most part, this is someone who is very well put together, someone who dresses very nice, someone who, I think aesthetics really mean a lot to them, but I think that it also makes them feel very comfortable in their own skin. It makes them feel very proud of themselves and proud of their accomplishments. This is someone who's a little bit of a homebody. Now, we do have wands and we do have pentacles as well, so this would be fire and earth energy. So they're very passionate, but they're also very stable. At times they can be a little bit guarded, but for the most part, they're very fun-loving, they're very strong, they're very stable, they're very committed as well. Once they're in a friendship, that's it. You can't shake them off, right? You're kind of stuck with them for the rest of your life. And, I think that you're really going to enjoy that about them, is that the fact that they're not the type of person or the type of friend that is just going to be like, hey, I'm inconvenienced, so I'm leaving now, right? But this is someone who says, keep the good stuff and let go of anything else that doesn't serve you. Because that's what they've done. That's how they've reached this Queen of Pentacles kind of an energy here, is because with this Four of Wands, I want to say that he has collected all of these pretties and this nest all by himself. He has laid the foundation for a house. He started everything himself. He doesn't have that many friends. Do you see any friends around here? No, there's no friends here or in the Queen of Pentacles. But do you know why that is? Because this person was more focused on their own endeavors, more focused on their goals, more focused on the things that they want to accomplish before they really start worrying about going out to meetups or anything along those lines. So I think that this is someone who, for the longest time, might have been very business-oriented or very work-oriented as well. Someone who maybe needed to give themselves a little bit more time off or time to enjoy themselves. But for the most part, they like being alone. They're very self-reliant and they love it, but they also love other people. But like I was saying, this is a little bit of a homebody. They would love to just kind of watch Netflix with you and then discuss it over like a nice bowl of soup or something, or maybe a stew, like a nice like beef stew. I don't know. But this is someone who definitely will eat like a good meal with you and then just kind of be like, okay, let's watch a nice movie and The Bachelor, and then we'll go to bed, right? I feel like for some of you it'll also be like kind of Taurus energy as well. Like I said, it doesn't have to apply, but I feel like definitely that comfortable, very non-judgmental energy with Taurus as well. That's why that's really standing out. So yeah, but for the most part, this is someone who's going to be very grounded and someone who you feel like they have everything really put together and really under control. So going on to your next 5 cards, this is going to be your Witch's Tarot cards, and this is talking about how you meet them. So this is just kind of going over what sort of energies you might feel when you meet them, how it might sort of feel as well, just kind of looking into their eyes. So we have the Page of Swords, followed by the Two of Swords, the Two of Cups in reverse, the Ten of Wands, and the Queen of Cups again. Oh my goodness. Okay, so right off the bat with the Page of Swords, you know, maybe I feel like maybe one of you, maybe you or someone else, maybe this person, they're a little bit nervous about coming forward with communication, because that's why we have the Two of Swords here. Someone's a little bit on the fence. Someone is holding back. Someone isn't really wanting to be the first person who is going to give in and communicate first. I don't want to say that this is going to be a very competitive friendship, because I don't feel like it is, but I feel like you both are very analytical, and you both are just kind of like, ooh, I don't want to embarrass myself in front of this person, you know, or kind of give off the wrong impression that I'm strange, you know, and by just kind of coming forward and being like, here's my communication, take it or leave it, right? And then that's why we have the Two of Cups in reverse, is because there's kind of a worry right off the bat is, should I reach out to this person? Should I communicate with them? You know, what if they don't like me? What if they, I feel like for some of you, I know I keep kind of getting relationship mixed into this, so maybe for some of you, you're also kind of attracted to them. Maybe this is something that will start off as a friendship, you know, and lead into something more, you know, for some of you. But I also feel like for some of you, maybe this is going to be someone who you originally looked at as, ooh, I could be with this person, but then you realize, ooh, no, this would just be someone better as like a friend or like a sibling or something along those lines. But for the majority of you that pick this pile, I feel like you're also going to potentially be meeting maybe even like a soulmate or something along those lines, or, you know, you're worried that this won't work out for that reason. But yeah, okay, so let's just keep going, because we also have the Ten of Wands with the Queen of Cups, so it's like, we're looking at this and we're saying there's going to be a lot of work that goes into this, so maybe that's why we're saying it's a little bit easier to be friends for right now, and maybe even one of you is feeling like it'd be easier just never to contact this person, or never to reach out to this person, because it's not as much hassle, it's not like putting yourself out there and having to risk the embarrassment, right? But with the Ten of Wands, you know, it's like, it's worth it though. You're coming to the end of a cycle. You're coming to something that can start over something brand new, towards a new beginning, right? But we also have the Queen of Cups again. So it's like, make sure that you both are staying, very open with one another. Make sure that if you want to be in a connection with this person, if you want to talk to them, make sure that you are extending that opportunity to them. You know, because if this is someone that is really good for you and good in your life, they're not going to be judgmental about it. They're not going to laugh at the fact that maybe even you decided to come forward and try to be their friend even, right? But right off the bat meeting them, you're going to be a little bit worried, like, oh my goodness, I don't even know, like, what even could be manifested through this partnership, you know, or through this friendship. Because that's why we have this Two of Swords. Someone's stuck. It could even be, oh man, for some of you, it could be that you're just getting out of a partnership. You know, maybe you're just kind of getting out of a breakup as well. You're getting out of that Two of Cups. And you're kind of debating, like, do I want to bring someone new into my life? Is that even worth the hassle or the risk at this point? Being since I just got out of a really high intensity relationship or friendship prior to this. But that's why we have the Ten of Wands, because it's like, you're in it for the long haul. You want something that's going to last a long time. Sorry about that. I had to charge my phone up a little bit, but we are right back on track. But honestly, I feel like you know that this person is going to be worth the risk. You know that they're going to be worth I don't want to say the hassle, because I don't think that it's going to be a hassle, but I think that coming out of these high intensity relationships, you're going to be feeling like, oh my goodness, this was a major hassle. This was something that was very high intensity. And you know that this person isn't going to be bringing that back into your life. You know that this person is only going to be bringing you good times for the most part, right? This is someone who is going to be very excitable as well. Someone who is always going to be looking towards the bright side of life. Someone who is always going to be extending their cup to you. Someone who is nurturing. Someone who is caring as well. I also want to say that this doesn't have to just be a female with the Queen of Cups. This can also represent a man. This could just represent that this is someone who is very nurturing. Someone who is very caring as well. Someone who kind of is more intuitive, as opposed to just kind of being headstrong and just going out there and getting things done and accomplished, right? But for the most part, I feel like that this person is going to definitely be worth the work. They're definitely going to be worth that effort as well, so to speak, right? Because we have this man who's carrying all of these pentacles, these wands, right? And he's like, oh my goodness, this is so heavy. But this person is the Queen of Pentacles. But not only are they the Queen of Pentacles, but they are obviously the Queen of Cups as well. So make sure that you are going towards them and you're saying, hey, I think that you're pretty cool. Would you mind maybe hanging out sometime? Would you want to go to the movies with me sometime? Whatever that might be. I don't think that they would snub you. I don't think that they would decline you either. I think that they're always looking for new friends, because I feel like this is someone who is a little bit of a loner. So maybe on their end, that's why they also are feeling this Two of Swords energy too, because they're a little bit like, how do I reach out to this person? I don't want them to think that, I'm weird or anything along those lines. And I think that you guys are definitely mirroring each other in that sense as well. So I feel like for the most part, you guys might be like soulmate friends, right? Friend soulmates. But it's going to be a really, really conductive, really awesome relationship between the two of you, as long as you can kind of put yourself out there and go towards this person and be willing to speak up as well. Speak your truth. Honestly, as long as you're being open with this person and honest with them, that's all that you can do. You can't expect to win the game if you don't at least play the game, right? So going forward on to your next three cards, these are going to be your Wheel of the Year tarot cards. And these are kind of talking about how you will meet this person, like where you might, because this was going over what sort of energies you might be feeling, how you might be feeling about the situation. This is kind of like where. So this is going out to quite a few people. So I'm going to look at all of these cards and pick up on a few different scenarios that I see. So we have the Eight of Pentacles, followed by the Two of Wands, and the 10 of Wands. Okay, so right off the bat, I feel like, oh my goodness, maybe you guys might meet in, like, the summer, the summertime, right? In the summertime when the weather is hot. What? I don't remember the rest of the songs, but I love that song. Oh my goodness. I don't know why, but I only listen to that song in the summer. But honestly, that's the vibe that I'm getting here. You guys might be meeting in the summertime, or even like towards the end of springtime, right when you guys can start like kind of, maybe even fall, right? Because you guys are kind of reaping that harvest towards the end of the year after planting at the beginning of the year. Potentially. So it could be that maybe you meet them at the end of the year. It could also be that maybe during the summer, because we have a lot of like warm energies. All of these people look very warm, they don't look like they're cold at all. This man is all sweaty. So it might even be that you meet them at work. Maybe you meet them while you're running a marathon. Oh yeah, for some of you, maybe you run like 5Ks. Maybe you do like marathon runs or what have you, but that's kind of where you might meet this person or meet this next friend. Maybe you guys kind of also work the same business or kind of work the same hobbies as well. Maybe you guys are also artists. I feel like maybe you guys kind of go on like DeviantArt or something along those lines together. Maybe even like Tumblr, any kind of social media. I also feel like Instagram for some of you. I don't know why with the Two of Wands here, that reminds me of Instagram, but it's kind of like people coming together to a community post and like kind of contributing. So that's kind of why I feel like maybe you would also meet them off of Instagram as well for some of you. But for the most part, you might be meeting them through a work environment or maybe through some sort of a seminar as well, or maybe you're taking a course. For some of you, you might also just be kind of, working out. Maybe for some of you, you take CrossFit classes, right? Because that's definite CrossFit vibes. Carrying a whole bunch of watermelons on your back, that's intense. But honestly, this is like you guys are willing to go the long haul. You guys are willing to go the distance with each other. And I think that is so awesome. Oh my goodness, right? But I also want to say that maybe you guys might meet each other while kind of going out, like, I don't want to say like a summer camp, because it's not like summer camp vibe, but you know what I'm saying? Like to where everyone gets together, like maybe camping, like a festival or a fair. There we go. And it's like, but for the summer. Yeah, and it's going to be a really, really good time. I feel like maybe you guys will even bond over plants or maybe like organic vegetables, because remember how we were talking about that you're going to maybe start eating a little bit better? So maybe this is also like kind of meeting up at vegan meetups as well, which is really cool. Yeah, that's definitely shared interest and shared passion. So it'd definitely be like meeting through that even. So yeah, let me see if there's anything else real quick before we continue forward. Maybe you guys also meet at a jam factory. I don't know, take that as you will. That's my last message on that. But maybe like the Smuckers farm. I don't know, because we have berries down here, so why not? I'm just gonna throw that in. I hope someone that resonates with you. I really hope. I'm sending it out there to the universe. Okay, so on to your next 3 cards. These are going to be your Witch's Tarot cards, and these are talking about kind of like the friendship and dynamic overall. So we have the 6 of Swords in reverse, the Fool, woohoo! I love seeing the Fool, oh my goodness, and the Chariot, woohoo! Oh my goodness. Okay, so right off the bat, I feel like with the 6 of Swords, you know, the dynamic is that you guys will constantly move to calmer waters together, but for the most part, you guys are kind of meeting up after just having done that. You know, you guys already moved away from your harsh environment, from the kind of processed foods, negative relationships, kind of codependent behaviors as well. I feel like sacral chakra is also dealing with kind of not codependencies. What is the word that I'm looking for? You know, dealing with anything, coping mechanisms. There we go. Thank you. But honestly, you know, it's dealing with coping mechanisms as well that we might feel comfortable in. And, you know, so the dynamic as well is just kind of being each other's comfort even in times of hardship and being able to get together after dealing with your own stuff. Because I feel like you guys are still independent enough to where you're dealing with your own problems. Not necessarily by yourselves, but you're definitely taking care of business by yourselves and then coming back together at the end of the day to go towards your passions and your loves together, right? Because we have the Fool. This is an amazing energy. This is talking about, oh my goodness, you know, I'm going out on the road, I'm traveling, I'm having fun, I'm seeing the excitement out of life, I'm seeing the love in life as well. I see each day as a new opportunity, as a new gift as well. Do you see how excited he is with his unicorn? It's like they can go anywhere. They can do anything as well. They are literal trailblazers, right? They're just going everywhere and they are clearing a path for themselves and it doesn't matter. He also has his like disembodied unicorn here, or unicorn horn, so I guess he can cast magic spells as well. So it's kind of like that definite magician energy that this person had. It's kind of like, follow me, you know, let's go on this journey together, let's have fun. I feel like you guys are always on the go. You guys are always doing something, you know, so maybe that's why you guys meet up, you know, when you're at kind of a festival or when you're kind of at work as well, because you guys are always planning or at least wanting to achieve new ideas as well, which is why we have the Chariot too. This is very fast forward energy. This is very quick energy as well. And with the Fool, this is honestly like, let's go kind of chase our dreams and our adventures like yesterday. You know, like we should have been doing this like years ago. Why didn't we know each other back then? I feel like that's the sort of energy that you guys are going to have is like, why didn't we know each other sooner? But that's why we also have the 6 of Swords in reverse, is because you had to go through the lessons before you guys got together, you know, before you guys met and could become friends. You had to go through those trials and tribulations separately. You know, you had to experience that before you could really appreciate this friendship and before you could really understand this person as well. You know, because I feel like for this partnership, in this friendship as well, like just in general, you guys maybe would have not gotten along, like maybe even like 3 years ago, like that sort of a vibe, because you weren't ready yet. Neither of you were ready yet, and it's like now, very, very soon, you guys are going to be ready for this next level of friendship, right? For this next step and this next, I would almost say enlightenment, but I don't know. I feel like you guys are just going to expand each other's horizons, so to speak. So going on to your next 4 cards, these are going to be your Glow Glow Tarot cards, and these are talking about their thoughts about you. So we have the 7 of Pentacles, the Lovers card, the Knight of Wands, the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. So starting off with the 7 of Pentacles, they think that you're someone who's very hardworking. They think that you're someone who definitely puts in all of the energy and all of the work and time in order to gain your successes and in order to fulfill your achievements and your dreams as well. They see you as someone who reaps what you sow. You're someone who is always giving every situation your all, and they really appreciate that about you. They really love that about you as well. They see you as someone who is very abundant, someone who is very, very successful. Oh my goodness, right? And with the Lovers here, how beautiful is that? They really see you as someone who is divinely placed in their life. They see you as a soulmate. That doesn't even have to be a romantic soulmate. This could just be platonic. But remember how I was saying earlier that some of you might actually start to date this person? That's why the Lovers is here. I feel like maybe you guys will start off as really, really close friends, and then it'll just kind of grow into something more. It'll grow into something divine. It's almost like the angels coming together and being like, now kiss, right? But that's kind of the vibe that we have here. It's going to be very balanced. It's going to be very lovely as well. And you guys are going to balance each other out. That's why his tree is on fire and her tree is very lush as well. Is because we are talking about the polar opposites. We are talking about the masculine energy and the feminine energy. And you guys are really going to balance each other out. Regardless of if you're in a relationship romantically or not, you guys are going to bring a lot of equilibrium to each other's lives. But we also have the Knight of Wands. So I feel like this also goes hand in hand with the Fool energy of they see you as someone who is very passionate, someone who is always going towards their dreams, someone who, I don't want to say that they see you as a fair weather friend, but they see you as someone who can't be tied down, someone who can't be, I feel like you're always kind of going towards the next goal. You're always kind of traveling. Maybe you're always kind of making a bucket list as well. Like, I want to go to Rome and Japan, and I want to go here, and I want to go there, and I want to go to Florida, and I want to go, to Italy. You're just making a whole list. But they see you as someone who is very adventurous, someone who is very courageous and brave as well, even though you yourself might not necessarily see that at times. But they see you as someone who can definitely get the job done. You're someone who's very intelligent, someone who's very well worded as well. They really appreciate the fact that they can have intelligent conversations with you too, is really what I'm getting here. They love how stable you are too. And with the 5 of Pentacles in reverse, you're someone who isn't going to ghost other people. You are not the type of person who is going to shut out other people or leave other people out in the cold once they get kind of bored of you. This is not that type of energy at all. You are the type of person who they see as very open, very caring, and you have been ghosted in the past. You know what it's like for people to just kind of drop off the face of the earth for you. You know how much that hurts, especially when it's someone that you have a really strong connection and strong bond with. So that's something that you're never going to do. So they never feel shut out in the cold by you. They always feel welcome. They always feel like you're someone who is very much fun-loving, right? Someone who is always a good time to be around. Oh my goodness, the life of the party. Very, very smart too. I think that they really, really love your smarts about you. That's something that they really admire. Because I feel like, like I was saying, this person is a little bit of a loner, so they don't have like a whole lot of friends, so they love good quality friends, and that's what they love about you. They think that you are such good quality, right? Like, you are like 10 stars, 10 out of 10. But honestly, they think that you are just so fantastic, and they think you are out of this world as well. And that's why we also have the Lovers, is they think that, their spirit guides, their ancestors, their past loved ones sent you to them, sent you into their lives, to really help them, and to show them how to open up to people as well. Because I feel like you both need to kind of work on opening up to people and not being so worried about kind of just going up and being like, hey. So going on to your next two cards, these are going to be overall friendship messages for this friendship. I was going to say the friendship at hand. So we have the Hermit. Oh my goodness. I was just talking about that earlier. With the Queen of Swords. So yeah, it's okay to be alone until the right person shows up. I really want to say, especially when it comes to friendship, don't feel like you have to just kind of settle for people who aren't going to fully satisfy you or fully make you feel good, especially with this sacral chakra energy. Make sure that you are with people who are going to be upfront with you, who are going to be honest and straightforward as well. You don't want people who are going to potentially lie to you or try to deceive you. But with the Hermit, this is always also saying kind of always rely on your intuition, always rely on that inner voice as well. Because with the Queen of Swords, this is a lot of healing energy. Because a lot of people can see the Queen of Swords as, oh, she's a jerk because she's very straightforward and she's this and she's that. But she's not. She is someone who has healed herself. She is someone who has taken the time as well to nurture herself, not just to nurture everyone around her. Because that is, I feel like that's especially the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles' job, is it's kind of like nurture other people. And the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands is more, I'm going to nurture myself, especially the Queen of Swords here. She's just kind of like, no, if you aren't going to be fulfilling me in the way that is correct, then no, I deserve respect. I deserve to be treated with dignity. That's what the Queen of Swords is saying. So if people are kind of trying to be in your inner circle and they're not treating you with respect, they're not treating you with dignity, go on your way, light your own path and find a new outcome, find some new people in your life as well. Because like this person, like I had said earlier, this person likes being alone, but they like being alone because they're not ever genuinely alone. They have themselves, they have their spirit guides, etc. But they can also make their own opportunities. They can make their own judgment calls, I suppose you can say, right? But this is also someone who they won't be disappointed. If you're by yourself, you'll never be disappointed. If you're putting expectations on other people, you are almost always going to be disappointed, is what these cards are saying. But if you're putting the expectations on yourself, if you are relying on yourself, and then just seeing other people as kind of an added bonus, like this friend is going to kind of see you as well, is you are an added bonus, you are the cherry on top. I feel like that's the energy you have to be in. Make sure that you're being in that energy. Otherwise, you're going to be bringing in unsavory people into your life, So make sure to rely on your intuition. So going on to your last card, this is going to be your month of the year tarot card. And this is just kind of going over when will be a really big month for you guys. It could also be when you might meet, just whenever. It might also be their birthday, whatever. So we have December. Woohoo! Oh my goodness. Okay, so maybe you guys might be spending the holidays together. Woo, that would be awesome. But I also feel like just the month of December is going to be very, very important. Maybe you guys are going to, oh wow, for some of you that kind of date this person, maybe it's like you guys start being friends in like the summer and then you guys start dating in December, something along those lines. But for strictly platonic, I feel like December is going to be a really big deal. Like maybe that's when you guys are really, really good friends and it's kind of like set in stone. It's very solid then at that point. Because you guys very much understand each other. There's kind of an unspoken knowing between the two of you, which is so awesome. Oh my goodness. But yeah, pretty much all that I really want to say here is just, rely on your intuition. Allow yourself to trust your instincts and trust your gut as well. Yeah, because this person is going to be an absolutely amazing friend. And I think that they think of you the same way as well. They think of you as someone who is very well put together, someone who is going to be very successful, someone who deserves the absolute world as well. They see you as like all that in a bag of chips, right? So make sure that you see yourself as that as well, and you're not settling for people who aren't going to treat you as such. But Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this stack 3. Thank you so much for watching this. Oh my goodness, I had so much fun with this pile. Honestly, you guys are going to have such an awesome friendship. Wow. But if you enjoyed this and if it resonated, make sure to leave a like and also a comment down below. I love hearing from you guys so much in the comments. Oh my goodness. It makes my day so much better. Oh my goodness. But honestly, yes, I love you guys and I hope that you're doing amazing. All of my links are in my description box down below, like my Patreon, my PayPal, and then also my Etsy for personal readings. I'm planning on, when I'm done moving, I'm actually in the process of moving right now, but when I am done with that, I am planning on hopefully doing tarot courses, woohoo, for anyone who is interested in learning about tarot with me, you know, learning what each card might mean. But yeah, so if you might be interested in that as well, maybe leave a comment and let me know. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this. Also, make sure to hit subscribe if you have not already, and the little bell icon next to that, and that will notify you every time that I upload a new video. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this stack 3, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!